What's happening, Ray Kennedy?
Did you? They could hear us that whole time?
No.
Okay, because I was sharing some deep dark secret.
I had you and me in the back room, buddy. Welcome to the over-under on the sports web and 1252 Sports. I'm your host, Harry the Greek, along with Mr. One Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay from 2019. We can always talk about that. And live with us as well is going to be Mr. Peter Blake from the sports web.
My guy, talking about my guy. I'm not even going to get any level of semblance of appreciation.
We're not going to let this show get off the hooks today. Welcome to the championship weekend on the National Football League, where the Arizona, Jesus.
They're in Arizona for 57,
correct.
but
San Francisco's invading Philadelphia.
Yeah, which is Brock Purdy. I mean, I said to my guy, I got a Philly guy I work with, and I asked him one question. One Philly fan, I asked one question all week. Is there going to be a battery, not at him, but just to significantly let the rookie jock Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, know when he walks in that we're the people that threw batteries at Santa Claus at Christmas? Because that's what's going to happen today. If this kid stands the test of time in this game, it becomes. They could hear us that whole time?
No.
Okay, because I was sharing some deep dark get us off there.
Oh yeah, really? That wasn't very good.
I sound good.
Yeah, you did sound good.
I'm sorry, I was going deep.
You know what? Can we just bring in our first guest?
That's what I'm hoping
It's
for.
not even a guest. He's our co-host.
There it is. Mic drop.
What's up, brother?
Hardest working man in Godcast.
What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Peter Blake, here on the Sports Web. Happy Sunday. Happy Championship Sunday. Are we ready?
Isn't
we
it
ready
weird?
to go?
And then how many months do we have until football season starts? Because not much.
Wait,
Hang on.
USFL,
Peter,
XFL, college.
Peter knows the exact days.
Well, I know right now, and my dog decides to come on here. So good morning to Alexander.
Alex, good morning, brother.
Hey, football never ends. It never ends in my house. We got a postseason, of course. You got the offseason. You got the draft. You got free agency. Of course, covering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and various NFL football teams. So it's never going to go away. I mean, if you're a basketball fan, good for you. We cover hockey on this show, but predominantly it's Tampa Bay Buccaneer football and around the NFL football.
We are football. And the Chicago Bears, don't forget, because the over-under is from Chicago. And
yes.
We cover the Bears, which is the first overall pick.
Did you say the Bears?
The Bears.
The Bears.
All right, there you go.
Listen,
every time.
Listen, before we kick off the show, everybody, make sure you take a second. Go ahead and share the
Be a
show.
share
Put
bear.
it on your timeline. Put it on someone
Put it back
else's
on my timeline and tell me how you hated this show.
Yeah, anything.
There
And
you
don't
go.
forget to hit the like button. And if you have a question or comment, make sure you go ahead and post it. We're going to go ahead and read it live on the
Or
air.
call in.
Or you can call in.
Yes.
We have two phone
I
numbers
dare
to
you.
call. You can dial 727-255-0391 or you can dial 727-320-5866.
Oh, how many lines do we
2050.
have?
We could put your line in there. We could put the other line in there. We could put Teresa's line in there.
That's
We could put
true.
everybody's
And you know,
line
today,
in
the
there.
thing is today, even though if something digitally screws up terribly on the internet at the moment, someone breaks the internet, these kids these days, they don't know what a party line is. This is what we have here. It's a
Hi.
party line.
Welcome
At
to
9 a.m. on a Sunday party.
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus. Ray, will you just really? I mean, that's a good one. Peter,
Yes.
I want to start it off before we start talking about the two football games, because I'm sure the people in Tampa Bay, as well as Chicago and the rest of the NFL fans, want to know what Warren Sapp had to say about one Justin Fields. And where did it come from? Peter, you broke this from someone very personal, and you actually have the quote. Go ahead.
Well, there's definitely some history here because years back when Warren Sapp got drafted by the Bucs and dropped, the legend Leo Haggerty told me this, that the Bears actually made up the rumor about him failing multiple drug tests so they could basically drop him down so the Bears could draft him at the time.
Thank you very much, but damn you.
But here,
my question is this. I mean,
sorry,
before
no,
you keep going
yeah.
on that, my question is this. Is it really false?
Well, even if it's
I
not
mean-
false, this is the first time I've heard this narrative. Peter, go on. Tell
Yeah,
me.
really, Peter.
well, I mean, this is what Leo told me at the time because Warren Sapp was so talented coming out of Miami that they made this rumor up so his draft stock could basically go down. Now, fast forward the clocks, if you will, and here is the rumor this week from Warren Sapp basically saying on the Boone podcast, Bears will be looking to trade the first pick in Justin Fields and draft Bryce Young. Don't believe me? Here it is. Warren Sapp on the Boone podcast on the over-under on the sports web.
He looks good though.
It's coming. I know it's coming.
That's what she said.
Oh God. Peter.
Oh, I thought he was messing with us. I thought that's the best acting job that kid's done in a long time.
Peter, we don't hear nothing.
AOL ran out at just the wrong moment. But if Warren Sapp is talking
Peter,
live,
if you can hear us, wave.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah,
we can't hear that.
Okay,
can't hear it. Okay, well, my bad, because basically it's him saying in so many words they're going to trade the Justin Fields to draft Bryce Young. That was the big.
I want to know what it was Peter was doing for. Did he like mute his phone so he could go and update his Tinder page? Because
no, I didn't. I don't know why.
Swipe left or do you swipe right, Pete? That's what we want to know. Inquiring minds.
A lot of fish.
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec here.
There's background here.
Okay, it's not coming through. So I mean, that's basically.
No, keep going on the story though. Keep going on the story because.
Keep going on the story, Pete.
Well, Warren Sapp's not the first person to say Justin Fields a top pick. In fact, it's actually Bears GM that's doing that because he's stirring that water, and that's what you want to do when you have the top pick.
Listen, this is perfect. And, before we get to that, hopefully we can bring that soundbite up. My personal opinion, what Chicago is going to do.
I'll tell you what, get me out of here, and then I'll bring it up, all right? Stand by.
Man, absolutely. Listen, my personal opinion, Ray, what I think the Chicago Bears are going to do with this first overall pick, I promise everybody we're going to talk about the other football games, but this is kind of important because
it's good. It's all right. I'll let you know when you
I'm actually kind of liking what the management of the Chicago Bears are doing.
They're doing a great job
because of the fact that they're throwing all the smoke out there. Look, Justin Fields ain't going anywhere.
Hell no.
Okay.
He's built for an NFC North football.
And I am not the huge supporter that everybody else is of Justin
Hey,
Fields.
make no
I'm
mistake.
Very critical, but they're not getting rid of this kid.
Make no mistake. The reason why the Packers have no problem with fast forwarding the Jordan Love thing a little bit and getting rid of that $60 million, which whatever that thing's about. Good luck with how they figure that out. I love how when they talk about smoke, when it was talked about Aaron Rodgers may be a free agent for trade, but the Packers want 2 first-round picks. I'm like, and a $60 million payroll, you can kiss my ass with 2 fourth-round picks. And that's basically what they might be looking for. I love this time of year because even as the Super Bowl, we're winding down. I'd love to be a Chicago Bears fan on that clock right now because the world is your oyster.
But what I thought that they were going to do was this. There are quite a few teams that need
a splash,
a quarterback. Okay, so I think the Bears, who, by the way, Houston, thank you for giving us that first pick, but it's going to cost.
It costs Lovey.
Right, it's going to cost you dearly because they're going to potentially end up. My scenario is this, right? They trade the number 2 with Houston. They get a plethora of draft picks. Then they trade with number 4.
Houston's not going to happen. Houston's not going to happen.
They're saying it's already happening.
I'm just telling you, with Mills, the quarterback, and as bad as
no, they don't want him.
They still have the bad taste in their mouth to Deshaun Watson, but they're also now something may happen last minute, but they're still in the driver's seat because they're like, well, we are the first team on the clock that does need a quarterback. Let's see who wants to give up the future for a Bryce Young, which every time I say Bryce Young, the kid's phenomenal. Or
you got the kid from Kentucky who's got the big arm. Who has, they're actually talking about him being the number 1 pick. All these mock drafts doing. Get this. You ready? The kid from Ohio State. All 3 of them are in there. But just let me finish this point I'm trying to make.
I thought you had. I'm kidding.
No, Houston's going to go ahead and trade with Chicago.
Right.
So they moved to number 2. Indianapolis, and they're already going to get quite a few picks for it. Indianapolis is going to throw, you ready? 1 DeForest Buckner into the mix. And a first-round draft pick, and a second-round draft pick.
That's smoke, though. But
no, but they're actually talking. There is so much bidding going on right now before the draft. It's not even funny. Can you imagine if the Bears ended up with, you ready? 4 number 1s because they moved twice.
Yeah.
A couple of number 2s, and they give up a 5th and a 6th.
You guys are in a catbird seat. Now you guys are in a catbird seat.
The kid that I like the most, and they can trade back even after that if they want to.
Yeah.
Because I love the kid from Georgia. I like the kid from Alabama.
Don't you guys wish Chase Young was in the draft this year from Michigan and you take that kid number 1 overall? Chase Young.
I love the kid from Texas.
Wait, Chase Young's the defensive end, right? No.
Chase Young, no, it's not his name. Kid from Michigan. I can't forget.
The defensive end for the Lions. You're in the division. Hold on. It's Chase Young.
It's
Chase Young.
You know what? I think he's ready to come in. Hey,
yeah.
Pete.
Hey,
I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Yeah, play it. Go for it.
Here out of Chicago is they're finna package him up, trade him for some other pieces, and then go with the Bryce kid from Alabama.
Wow, I did not know that. That's a good little insight right there.
I'm in Florida and I hear this and you haven't.
They haven't really told us anything.
Trust me, there's a bunch of there's smoke everywhere talking about them trading Justin Fields.
As long as he's not slapping some lady in Arizona.
Wow, all we've really been hearing is that they need to give him a lot of weapons. So nobody's ever said the trade deal, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Weapons, and you only have one pick. What do? You trade away that one thing you have for a couple weapons, and then you get a much more capable thrower of the ball.
Wow. That is that's good to hear. That actually makes me happy. It means that the Bears are trying things.
I just put it out there. It might be a big fire brewing, and you didn't see it coming. But Warren Sapp told you first.
QB killer.
Warren Sapp told you first. Warren, I hope it makes it to your page somewhere.
But as a Bears guy,
it seems
what's proper marijuana etiquette, gentlemen? When you puff, what do you do?
I don't do.
You pass.
I get it. Peter, was that not the biggest backhanded smoke at Justin Fields when he says in a whole that 95 seconds Warren Sapp talks? By the way, I could talk for 95 minutes. He could do a TED talk on talk. And he drops in and then get a quarterback who's a more accomplished passer. So that's all that soundbite. That's what I hear is he's bitch slapping Justin Fields.
That's all he's
doing. More of a
good.
Well, he bitch slaps everybody all the time. He bitch slaps the Bucks. He bitch slapped Vita Vea for
even the working girls.
Yeah, well, but again,
wow,
bro, he bitch slapped me in the bathroom.
Okay, that's our
flick.
That's our third use of the B word.
Everybody that story?
But that's our third use of the B word. One more, and we're over standard. So let's keep it
right
there.
Listen, I told you the story of my encounter with him. I mistaken him for a cameraman at the time and was told.
Yeah, I can see how you did that.
Well,
Warren Sapp, the biggest goddamn cameraman.
Listen, you're in the moment at that point. You're looking to get on the field and do your thing, and then you recognize him and you give him kudos, and he basically doesn't want any part of it. So I get it, I understand it, but it seems to be very interesting that again I was told this by Leo Haggerty a long time ago that the Bears were the one that made up this rumor, put out this rumor out there, if you will, put out some fire or smoke. That Warren Sapp did fail some drug tests so they could basically get him to
Peter
in a Chicago Bear uniform.
Peter, I told you
the same thing to the Bears. What, 25 years later, something along those lines? Yeah,
I'll tell you
later.
I've told this story 100 times, Peter. You know, you and I have talked about this. There's been many days as a Buccaneers fan with the draft day and all the hopes for a quarterback or anything else, and then we get a defensive end and Leroy Selman, the first pick in team history, but the fact of the matter is wait, I lost my point.
I don't know. Keep going.
Well, you lost your point because here's the thing. At the end of the day, when Sapp was coming out of Miami, he could have been the number one overall pick. He could have been a top 5 selection of all time. Now, did he put himself in that situation with the drug use? Absolutely. But somebody making up rumors out there to lower somebody's stock.
Yeah, that's low.
For years. Yeah. And once again, the tables have turned, and it seems like Sapp is doing the same thing to the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't know where you heard this rumor from. It's been out there.
It's smoke. It's smoke no matter where it comes from. It's over the mountain. I don't know who's over there with the tent doing the
ladies
smoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, rumors are like a-holes. Everybody's got one.
Right.
Wait, who calling an a-hole?
Everybody's got one.
No, but my point was Peter, again.
Listen, Warren just wants to be relevant again.
But in team history, the day Warren Sapp dropped to us, at number 12, and then we get Derek Brooks and later in the first round, 2 Hall of Famers, but that was the only day in team history. That was my point that I got lost on, that I cried. And I don't say that tongue in cheek. I cried when Warren Sapp fell to us because I realized what Rich McKay, even with Sam Weiss as coach, was doing to this organization. And look what happened, right? So Warren Sapp can throw smoke anywhere he wants the rest of my life.
Remember this. They were at number 7, the Bucks, and this is 1995. And they trade down with Philadelphia, who, by the way, is in the NFC Championship game today versus the San Francisco 49ers. They take a Mike Mamula out of Boston College.
Not a bad pick. What they needed.
Now, listen, at the time, the Minnesota Vikings are on the board. The Jets are on the board. The Jets feel like they should have taken him.
Oh, they missed one.
The Vikings wanted him at the time. Who was the defensive coordinator that had
I'm getting a chub, Peter. Stop.
Coach? That would be Tony Dungy, who became the coach the very next year and, of course, turned around. But he wanted Warren Sapp at the time. The Vikings passed on him. So it all worked out in the end. But
I was on Derek Brooks already. It was just a good first round.
We're going to go to the comments really quick. Troy Polamalu, as usual, says first. Troy Polamalu says, you guys are late.
Victory.
Yeah,
we are.
This guy sucks.
Got some real life
Christian
stuff going
Shanafel.
on,
Christian, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Championship Sunday, fellas.
Ooh,
Christopher
yeah.
Cole. Good morning, everyone. Troy Palomalo says you are watching the Sports Web.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Don't give him a how about them Bucks. He's a troll.
Well, Peter loved it, of course.
Troy Palomalo says basketball.
Yes, basketball.
It's my favorite sport. I love the way they dribble up and down the court. I beat you on that one, but you were close.
Christian Shanafel says, why the hell has anyone given Warren Sapp any credence to this?
Because the guy's a god. He really was. He still is.
It is blown up as much as it has.
He should still be on the NFL Network.
Well, that's what that girl said in Arizona, too. Christian, good comment.
Oh,
God.
I see what you did there.
Shut up!
Christian Shanafel says, we're swiping left on Warren Sapp's rumor mill. I agree with
that. That I agree with. That's a good one.
Christian says, no buying the... I can't read that.
Is it German?
Levis
hype it all.
Oh, Levis out of Kentucky, right? But I don't know.
Oh, Levis. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the quarterback out of Kentucky. Can't believe he turned down an invite to the Senior Bowl as well. Look, man, that kid's got a hell of an arm. Buy into the hype. He just has to make better decisions. How many times have we heard that in Chicago or Tampa Bay?
Peter, you know what's messed up, though, brother? I'll ask you on this, but I hear about a Will Levis, and we talk about the players that are opting out because it's a business, and it's been a business since they were a freshman. But even this week, the NFL starts showing some renderings, and you start thinking the flag football competition, but more importantly, the skills competition, which I think is going to be one of the most bet on, well, probably the only first bet people are going to be betting on skills competition for the NFL Pro Bowl. Suddenly, talking about the opt-out. See how I worked that transition there. Sorry, brother. But now even a Pro Bowl looks like it could be exciting.
It can be, as long as they put flags on them. And you ready for this? From what I understand, Houston and Indianapolis absolutely covet this kid from Kentucky. This is, if that actually truly happens, Chicago could end up with so many picks. It will make your mind blow away.
Peter, is Will Levis another Daniel Jones out of the Midwest or out of the Northwest, East, whatever it would be, a Kentucky and North Carolina? Or is he a big kid, or is this kid got something?
I think he's got something. I think he's definitely better than Daniel Jones at the end of the day. But we'll
Chase Young. Thank you, Christian. Chase Young went to Ohio State. LOL. Aiden Hutchinson went to Michigan.
I am such an idiot.
But that's okay. You know what's even more idiotic is my brain fell apart.
Well, I just mowed my lawn. It's a long morning already, and I'm the guy that wants the offensive coordinator for the Bucks to be Art Monken.
The Art Monken, which, by the way,
people in Chicago and the Midwest, we still mow our lawn, and it's January.
Well, yeah, there's leaves, and
it's not dead yet. I wish you know what we're gonna do. It's wintertime, and we have not tormented the people in the Midwest with a nice outside show at the, by poolside, or we haven't done anything. Yeah. No, hold on. We haven't done anything out by the water. Because you should see some of the text messages I get and some of the DMs I get. Really, Harry? It's 8 degrees and we got 3 feet of snow in here, and you're talking about getting a suntan? Absolutely. That's what we do.
How many times do you get a follower on Instagram and you go, oh, okay, hottie toddy to goey, and you go, okay, I know what it is, and I go to it and I'm like, she's following nobody but got 10,000 followers, but it still feels good to get a new follower on Instagram. I mean, whatever, right? Pete?
Christian says much more capable throwing the ball. Absolutely. Do we need to revisit Fields' time at Ohio State? Come on, Sap, shake my
Are we going to talk Justin Field? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we're not. Jeff Stassi says Warren's done smoked himself stupid. Jeff, that is the comment.
That's the point there. The comment of they need a much more capable thrower of the ball. Look, the Bears didn't have any wide receivers yesterday for him to throw the ball consistently, in my opinion. And this is what this offensive coordinator and this offensive staff asks Fields to do, which is be a runner and use that mobility. Just because you're in the dark ages, Warren Sapp, and you don't understand how a quarterback works these days in the National Football League, don't blame everybody else. Justin Fields is a highly talented player. He can definitely throw the ball from the pocket, but first and foremost, you got to build an offensive line around him, and you also got to get him some weapons on the outside, and you got to have an offensive coach. And
that's coming, brother.
Great
point, but that's all coming.
Hey, you guys, comment.
Got to have an offensive staff that's invested in the idea of getting the best.
He almost said IUD. You talk about someone said something about Warren Sapp smoking something, and I just realized my wife and I play this game. It's who would I like to have coffee with? We'd always topical. Hey, that's the guy I'd like to have coffee with. I'd like to smoke a joint with Snoop Dogg and Warren Sapp at the same. Well, not that I smoke joints. I'm just saying if I did, with Snoop Dogg and Warren Sapp same time, sit at that table.
You got a lighter?
I would shut up and just listen to those kids.
Do you need my lighter?
Puff, pass.
No, you need my lighter.
Just say no.
No. I say no to drugs.
I don't know why I did that drop anyway.
I
Think
that was pretty funny though.
Because okay, go ahead.
Peter.
Well, no, I can't really.
I can't condone this behavior.
I'm just talking football at this point with Warren Sapp, but it definitely seems like he's high on something. But did he hear something? Who knows? Again, I feel like it's more of I made up something to get back at the Bears so many years ago. And again, going back to what, 1995? And we're talking about this in 2023. So how many years is that? 30-something? That's pettiness by Warren Sapp. That is Warren Sapp. That has been Warren Sapp ever since he's retired.
One day after.
Who's in the championship game today?
Hold on. One day after the season ended, and the Chicago Bears procured the number 1 pick.
Lovie Smith got beheaded.
I was live. After Lovie Smith was beheaded, I was live on the sports web and announced, don't be surprised if you start hearing the rumors that the Chicago Bears were looking to trade Justin Fields.
Right.
Why not?
And all of a sudden, everything blew up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I heard that from some very reliable
Why would
sources.
you, though?
Not that it was credible. The reliable source was trying to stir the poo-poo pot. Okay.
Sure.
And let me tell you something. That's exactly what they want to do, because you know what? There's about 8 or 9 teams that need a quarterback, and they are all going to be vying for the 3 that are here. Okay. And that's exactly what it was. But you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to get back to the comments, which is pretty cool. That's exactly right, Harry. Stapp is just trying to stay relevant. Troy Palomalo says Rogers is at First Pentecostal Methodist Church.
Yes!
But you forgot to say enjoying a cup of kratom. You know, getting back to his most inner peace. Way to go, Roger.
We deserve that.
Jeff Stassi says, show him the backyard. No, Jeff, I can't.
I will.
Yeah.
No, the backyard. He's talking. He wants to see the pool.
I thought he meant the backyard.
See, Jeff's from Chicago.
I got that mode. I got that backyard all clean.
Mr. Stassi from Chicago, and he knows there's like a whole bunch of white crap all around. It's freezing cold. It's ridiculous. Christian Shanafel says exactly, Peter. Preach, brother. Christian says, Peter, talking us to church on this Sunday morning. Hallelujah.
I'll too.
Yes.
Trey Palomalo says, I've been saying the Bears will trade Justin Fields, and I do not know what just happened to my audio or my video. This is like really freaky. Peter, take over.
No, you stay with it because it may be great.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on right now, but we'll get back to the guys in a moment here. Peter taking us to church on a Sunday morning. Hallelujah. I've been saying Bears will trade Fields and draft a real pure passer quarterback. And you guys think Sean Payton lands a head coaching job this offseason, would like to see him land in Arizona, but not sure it happens. I mean, 70% chance, and this was put out there. And again, it's speculation season, but this is what we do here on the Over-Under on the sports web.
He's so smooth.
He was going to go back to Fox, and maybe there was a job out there that he wanted that was not necessarily open, most likely the Dallas Cowboy job. That's not going to open up now. So why would Peyton take a job that he doesn't want just to take a job? He wants the perfect job. He wants the perfect scenario. He wants the perfect quarterback at the end of the day. And you're coming back in to coach. You don't want to fail. And that's the way to do it. So open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Again, the other number, 727-320-5866. Again, 727-320-5866. Good morning to you. Happy Sunday championship morning. Who do you like in these games today, as you have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs? And the other matchup, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers.
There you go. Championship talk. Let's do this.
Now we're talking
Let's move this needle.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. For some reason, my camera just went like dead. And then again, can you hear me, Pete?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I don't know what that is, man.
Keep working, and let me keep talking to Pete.
Keep talking, Pete.
No,
yeah,
let me
I'm
keep talking.
Try to set this.
Guys,
Peter.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah, it seems like there's some tech issues at the end of the day. Who do you like in these matchups? Of course, the big-time story here, Cincinnati with an overwhelming 3-0 in the last year and a half over the Kansas City Chiefs. So can they continue, as my co-host would say here, the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire of 1252 Chicago Sports, that Mo, because certainly they have that momentum over the Chiefs. They also have that momentum going into the playoffs. And in my opinion, playoffs, clearly the best team in the National Football League right now. I'm not mincing words. They have a running game. They have the best quarterback right now in Joe Burrow. Their defense is better than it was last year. And even though their offensive line is banged up, Joe Burrow is still getting it done. So I would expect the Bengals to go on and win today. And then you look at the other game here. You have the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy, who to me was exposed.
Hey, Pete, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Well, hold on. I was going to ask.
I'm sorry.
Now, Pete does have it. Admin, you're on. No, he's not. We can't restart the computer without losing the show.
Yeah, what happened, guys?
I don't really know what happened, but we're going to have to stay Avatar, and I'm really sorry. But
no, that's okay. No worries. No worries. And we go back to Brock Purdy here, who last week against the Blitz, who the Cowboys, give them credit to where credit is due, a very talented defense in the National Football League. 3 for 11, 24 yards. So will that same thing happen today with the Philadelphia Eagles coming into this postseason with 75 sacks? That's the key there. And then again, Jalen Hurts not having to do much, but just doing enough and rushing for over 200 yards versus the Giants, but not so fast, my friend. That San Francisco 49er defense can definitely hold their own, the best in the National Football League. So that is the matchups today here. Who do you like? Do you like the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts? Do you like the San Francisco 49ers? Do you like the Cincinnati Bengals? Or do you like the Kansas City Chiefs? Get on the phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. And again, the other number, 727-320-5866. It's 727-320-5866. You're on the over-under on the sports web. Guys, what do you think about the games today?
Wow, I think quite a few things about the game, to be honest with you, Pete. And I was just hoping we can actually get some video. And actually, we do have video.
Don't move. Don't breathe.
Don't breathe.
Okay.
Flawless victory.
First game, Philadelphia.
Victory.
Yes.
Philadelphia hosting those Niners. Best defense in football. Brock Purdy experience. But, man, it's Philadelphia, Peter. Is this kid able to just waggle in there like he has basically this entire season? Or does Kyle Shanahan stand a chance of Kyle Shanahan himself to today's championship game?
Well, before you give the picks, don't forget now, Philadelphia is
picks.
Hold on, I know that, but Philadelphia is a 2.5-point favorite. They're at home. The total's 45.5. San Francisco's on the road with Brock Purdy. And as I said in the description of the show, how Purdy is Purdy going to be against Philadelphia? That's exactly what I'm thinking.
I go back to it last week versus the Cowboys, 3 for 11 for 24 yards versus the Blitz. Is this the blueprint you go forward with? And, at the end of the day, defensive coordinators, they start to pick up on tendencies of young quarterbacks. That's exactly what you're going to pick up on today. And at the end of the day, he is a rookie quarterback. He has played well, 35 points for the San Francisco 49er offense, which is getting it done ever since he's come in and been the starter. But, they're going to go ahead and emulate Leo Word of what the Cowboys did last week and do it better because they have much more talent than that Dallas Cowboy defense.
What do you think, Ray?
For these 49ers, which is ironic, but with the zone blocking offensive line, Kyle Shanahan, the run game his dad taught him. Now he has McCaffrey, a former Denver Broncos wide receiver. But to go into Philadelphia and not get Jalen Hurts to get with Devonta Smith and have the crowd stay in it, it needs to be Christian McCaffrey's biggest game as a pro. If that kid comes through, he covers any imperfections with the still rookie Brock Purdy, and it becomes the Christian McCaffrey experience. That's the recipe to win.
And again, here we are.
Sorry, I moved.
Can you guys both see us still? I mean,
I can.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't
know.
Go
ahead and leave it on there. But let me go ahead and give you a little insight in this game, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure.
And we're going to try to do this without us going actually black there. And of course, we went black as soon as I said that.
It's your video card. It's going to suck.
It really is, but that's okay. I mean, if we have to just go Avatar, we will. I mean, we have Peter's pretty face out there. Listen, the San Francisco 49ers, it's been a great story. This team could easily just go to the Super Bowl and win it. The reasons why they're not going to this week.
Here we go. Okay? Now this is the knowledge.
And this is what I'm talking about. In the beginning part of the season, I said that the Philadelphia Eagles were built to win right now.
They are.
And this team was going to go as far as their quarterback took them. Period.
They are.
Okay. But the problem here is Philadelphia is one of the least blitzing teams in the National Football League. And he hasn't seen a set of corners like this yet. Not a set of corners whatsoever, Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Preach on.
I'm just going to say this much. San Francisco is going to have some success running the football. They will have zero success at all trying.
Oh God, sorry.
They'll have
That
zero.
got-
They'll have
that got
zero,
really-
they'll have
really
zero
uncomfortable.
success passing the football because those corners are going to be sitting back waiting for everything there. If Philadelphia, by chance, gentlemen, get any kind of smidgens of a lead, they're going to protect it. And if they get a big enough lead, they're going to go after Brock Purdy. It's over.
And then I think the same thing can be said here with this matchup. But it's a mismatch nightmare at the end of the day. You saw that DK Metcalf could expose that San Francisco 49er back in. I think the same thing could be said about this Philadelphia Eagle team with A.J. Brown, who is a mismatch nightmare, and, of course, a Devontae Smith. That is the matchup to look at. And that is the matchup at the end of the day that I feel like favors the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the reason why you trade A.J. Brown and all that draft capital to get him in the first place for games like this. And we're going to see if this pays off today, and I think it will, because the 49ers have not been able to stop wide receivers in this postseason.
Yeah, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I mean, we're doing the Leo Haggerty shuffle here.
Well, you're doing the Madman Mark Mancini and Ralph Williams shot there.
By the way, February what? 5th?
Well, by the way,
bringing
there
it-
was a Royal Rumble last night. If you guys,
I need a cam
that's
link, guys. My cam link is going back.
Yeah,
That's
your
what it is.
cam
what it
link.
is. Or you just
That happens with age.
You know what happened was I dropped it this morning.
Well, you
Now
just
you
need
there
to
you go.
maybe try to plug in that wire that's in the camera there tighter. It may be a little bit loose.
No, it's not in the camera that's doing that, Peter. It's the cam link that goes actually into my laptop.
Oh, yeah. Probably do need one. So there you
The
go.
light.
Tech problems. That's okay.
It happens.
But you know what? You can still hear us, and that's exactly what it is.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. All right. So with that being said, open phone line 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. And also 727-320-5866. It's 727-320-5866. It's the over-under on the sports web. With that being said, going to the second matchup here. Well, first and foremost, let's take care of this Philly-San Francisco. What's the line?
It's 2.5 points. Frisco's favorite. Total's 45.5.
So
I'm
2.5.
telling you now,
2.5.
Philadelphia's 2.5 point favorite. Take it.
Okay. So you take that. Is it the over, under, or over on this game?
I don't like it. It's 45.5.
So you go under, or would you go over on it?
Honestly, I'd probably go under.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Both defensive. So go under in this game as we got the avatar here known as 1252 Chicago Sports' Harry the Greek. And, of course, best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy going to that matchup there with Kansas City and the Cincinnati Bengals. As I said, coming in, Cincinnati has dominated this matchup the last year and a half, going 3-0. They're
Right.
the hottest team right now. They have the Mo, if you will, guys.
Who are you talking about?
Playing out Cincinnati versus Kansas City.
We're going to go to that in about 60 seconds. Peter, give them a little monologue on your own. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, definitely. So, again, for me, Cincinnati should be the team that's favored in this game. They have all the components that you need, right? You have a quarterback that's playing with supreme confidence, even though you're missing 3 of your offensive linemen. You have Jamar Chase, who's a mismatch nightmare also. You know, we talk about the teams right now that are winning. You have top wide receivers in A.J. Brown for Philadelphia. And in this case, you also have Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, to me, this is a Chicago station. He should be signed tomorrow. If the Bengals win the Super Bowl, which is what I think they could do, T. Higgins should be your number one priority because he is a number one wide receiver, and that's exactly the kind of weapon you need for Justin Fields. Looking on the other side, the big-time story is, of course, Patrick Mahomes. You know, high ankle sprain is not something that you're going to be able to overcome. And that's my big-time concern coming into it because we know what Mahomes can do when he's in the pocket or when he wants to get out of the pocket, how he can make things happen. If he's not 100%, which it looks like he's not going to be, I definitely think that favors the Cincinnati Bengals at the end of the day. Tell you what, the guys are definitely getting their stuff together here. Let's go out to some of these comments. Just going to read them off because we can't, I can't click on them. Chris Cole says, I wouldn't draft any Alabama quarterback. Christian says, got to stay off those websites, Terry. A lot of computers in the post by, let's see. I've lost a lot of computers in the past by spending too much time on them. Wow, that's great. You know what?
Flawless
I'm
victory.
going to give you that one. Troy says, it's sad football season is coming to an end. The good Lord knows I love watching the Bucks. That's good, Troy.
How about them Bucks, baby?
That's good. And or the good Lord knows I love watching the Bucks lose.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Guys, have you got your stuff together? Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah. I would just go to the avatar. I just go to the avatar, guys. Make it work on the avatar, and we'll make it work here eventually. No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you guys. All right, so yeah, that's what's going on with them right now. Tech issues as we're here live on a Sunday morning. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about as we're trying to produce. You know, the Super Bowl is coming up, and it always kind of brings me back to the story of being on Radio Row. You get an opportunity to be on Radio Row. Just think about it. It's 100 radio stations.
That's much better now.
No, well, it sounds like you're in a can. That's what it sounds like. But going back to it, it's 100 radio stations at the time. You're trying to get guys like Roy Jones Jr. You have Adam Sandler walking around. You have all these superstars and celebrities walking around, and you're basically trying to be the car salesman by getting them on your radio show. Well, it happens to be Roy Jones Jr. that I'm trying to get for another radio show because at the time I'm working for 1010 AM. And the first question I ask is, why didn't you do Rocky Balboa? And not my thing, man, not my thing. And you're just trying to basically stall as much as you can. Now, what people don't, it still sounds like you're Darth Vader. With that being said, you get to your table, you're doing your radio show out there on Radio Row in Miami, and your sound goes out in your headphones. But what you got to do is you got to run with
it. This sound, is this still Darth Vader?
It still sounds like Darth Vader, my friend. Yeah, you should just go to the avatar at this point. Yeah, it sounds like you're in a can. Exactly. The point of that is you got to run with it sometimes.
How's the audio now?
It's still in the can because we're using the same feed.
Yeah, it's still. I don't know what you guys did, but
I love you. Listen, here's the
flawless victory.
Listen, we're gonna let Peter take up the rest of this show. No, I'm done.
No,
There's nothing I can
Peter,
do.
We're gonna plug that bad boy and go back.
I'm coming back to you, Peter. Just take over.
Sorry. Well, here's the thing: you can't go. You can't.
I know.
Well, you. So
I'm just aggravated. Okay, I want to take my Legos and go home.
I feel like I'm gonna press.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, though. The guys are trying to work on their tech, but again, you just have to run with it sometimes. So, lots of Bucks rumors out there today because this is not just a Chicago-based show; it is a Tampa Bay-based show. We're kind of coming together, if you will, with the over/under on the sports web. Will Tom Brady come back or not? Recent reports would suggest from Rob Gronkowski on Sports Illustrated that he would choose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Raiders. So what do you think about that? That's Rob Gronkowski. Now there was a report yesterday because, again, it's a speculation season, speculation in full bloom from Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times that Gronkowski would also come back in 2023, and I think it's going to happen. I do. I think it's going to happen. I think Tom Brady's going back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think Rob Gronkowski is going to join them. Gentlemen, I think we got you back here. Welcome back to the Over-Under on the Sports Web.
Oh, yeah, so let's talk championship football. Did we even finish the...
Do I sound like I'm still in a can?
No, you sound great, my friend.
Actually, for a minute there.
Huh. Anyway, love San Francisco not to cover this game. Please go ahead and take Philadelphia. This is actually one of my best games I'm going to pick this year. I said in the beginning part of the season, Philadelphia is probably going to end up going to the Super Bowl. They are the team to beat. They're going to go as far as this quarterback's going to go. But here's the difference. this defense that they're facing for Philadelphia, 72 sacks.
Wait, 4 individual players with 10+ sacks?
Yes.
I'm like, I don't even Philadelphia. That reminds me of the old days with Reggie Brown and the minister of minister of defense, Reggie White. Jerome Brown. Did I say Reggie Brown?
Yeah, you said Reggie Brown again.
I meant Jerome Brown.
It was
Reggie
one of the
White.
Browns. Going to Cincinnati and Kansas City. How about this, guys?
Sucks.
In the beginning part of the week,
Oh, here it is.
Kansas City was a 2.5-point favorite. A day later, it was even. It went to Cincinnati being favorite. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because all the rumor mills were showing.
The cankle.
Oh my God, the ankle's hurt.
The cankle.
He's hurting so bad. Listen, guys, it's Kansas City. It's the team that y'all picked that we're going to finish last in the division. And I'm going to go on a little diatribe here and tell everybody
that camera works
how
now.
much I absolutely loved Kansas City to win that division. Everybody was ready to kick the baby goat, or the Billy Goat, as I call him, off the hill. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Andy Reid is still one of the best offensive. No, Mahomes is good too. I'm kidding.
Listen, they lost a lot of players. They
Tyreek Hill's not a lot of players.
I understand it wasn't just Tyreek, it was offensive linemen, it was running backs. They ended up getting Ronald Jones, who the victim of volume still is a victim of volume out there.
That guy's on a milk carton.
Okay, he's on a milk carton, okay? But let
been
me
all
tell you what's
year.
happening. The defense is playing better. Sorry, Cincinnati. It's a great story. I love you, Joe Burrow. John Bo, if you're watching the show, I'm really sorry to tell you, they're not winning 4 in a row. Kansas City's going to the Super Bowl. It will be Kansas City against the Philadelphia Eagles. And by the way, you can get Kansas City at -1.5. But if you listen to the Greek on the sports web back on Monday, when he said, take Kansas City getting the points, but everybody was shaking like a whore in church going, oh my God, he's hurt. He's not hurt enough to play, not to play. Trust me. He's still going to be mobile.
And let's be honest, Chad Henne could have came in on one leg and led this team. Kind of did for a few minutes last weekend. Here's the thing,
Peter? Just give me some.
I'll give him his thing.
Oh, I'll give you credit. Yeah, no, definitely give you credit on it at the end of the day. But I disagree with you. I think Cincinnati clearly is not only the team with the most momentum, but clearly the best team in the National Football League right now. And it's one player, and it's one player only. It's Joe Burrow, but it's what they bring to the table that's scary. They have that balance, gentlemen, with Mixon and Perrine. They have the weapons on the outside with T. Higgins and, of course, Jamar Chase. And their defense is playing a lot better. They have the Mo right now. And I'm telling you, the Mahomes injury
He's taking
the
worse.
Okay. But, hey, I was sitting right here
on the road again.
I was on the flip side of this counter a year ago today, 365
You
days.
remember that?
It wasn't a year, but it was the AFC Championship game 2022. And
Peter had his damn ass.
He hadn't got here yet.
Sitting on my couch.
Well, he
I'll
got
never
here later.
forget it.
He wasn't here at halftime of the AFC
Did you see
Championship.
the picture he took and posted it on Facebook trying to be Dennis?
Well, that was on his Grinder page. That was just no taste. But no, the thing is that it was
The suck right there.
Chiefs were up 21-0 before they stuck their heads in their butt, and the Cincinnati Bengals never tried to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They closed down the passing lanes and they covered his receivers. They've got Pacheco now.
You don't think that Patrick Mahomes remembers that game?
Oh, it's going to be.
Trust me.
He would have won in this game with.
He may remember that game at the end of the day, but I'm telling you, the last year and a half, the Bengals have been 3-0, including the regular season this year.
They're balling.
It's going to be a close
game.
Here, let me take you back to the NFC South when the New Orleans Saints owned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was just a couple of years ago, ladies and gentlemen.
They did.
Let Uncle Harry the Greek tell you a bedtime story.
Oh, God.
How New Orleans just absolutely manhandles the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he beat Tom Brady, and everybody's
and
shaking.
The Ken folks said, Chad, move away from there. They said California is the place you got to be.
And then all of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pulled off what you would say was the Super Bowl win.
The Devin White win.
It wasn't beating Kansas City in the Super Bowl. It was, we beat the New Orleans Saints. Listen, Patrick Mahomes is not losing to Joe Burrow in this game.
The scary thing for poor Patrick Mahomes is this may be his last chance. 6 years now, Reed's made it straight to the AFC Championship game.
That's why he's called what? The Billy Goat. That's great. Damn, are you kidding me?
But Peter,
yes.
Tom Brady's coming to the AFC West, so Mahomes' days are numbered.
Well, I don't believe that, gentlemen. Because
Right?
I mean, we've covered it here. We've had other people. We had a guy by the name of Mitchell Renz of Chat Sports who was out there saying he's heard that it may be a fit, and it may be a fit with Josh McDaniels. You don't know, but I would say the Bucs first and foremost have not turned the page on Brady because this week
here we go with this again.
NFL Network.
I love him. He deserves it. Everyone should have a dream.
I just don't get it.
What, the Tom Brady thing? The
Cam Link keeps going in and out.
Oh, forget that. Go to Avatar. But let's continue.
I'm just going Avatar.
Look. But Peter, Tom Brady made the Super Bowl 55. Super Bowl. Second year in Tampa Bay, he goes to the divisional. Third year, they back into the wild card. Now, Tom Brady's legacy was.
We're just going to go full screen with Peter, and we're just going to be the background noise.
Well, you can't do that if we're not part of the show.
We are part of the show. Peter, you can hear us.
Peter, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Of course he can, because I made him full screen. He's still there.
Okay, this works for me. Go ahead, Peter. You are now in charge.
Really. You're in charge, Peter.
Well, I can't log out here. That's for sure.
No, but I can.
Yeah, you can. You can absolutely do that. I mean, going back to Ray, your comment, I still think there's unfinished business with Tom Brady. If the Bucs can put something together when it comes to an offensive coordinator, which again we learned this week from NFL Network and various sources, Mike Garafalo said that Todd Bowles is asking potential offensive coordinator candidates, what can you do to structure an offense around Tom Brady? So,
and Peter, like I told you, that's, you know, the questions on the Wonderlic test are to just try to find out if you can pull your head out of your hole in the ground. But the thing is, that's a great question to ask because it could happen. I mean, it's not going to happen. I just think it's also.
What if I told you that there's back channels? Or they don't even have to have any back channels. They could be texting Brady as we speak saying, you know what? Let's plan for 2023 at the end of the day. Let's get Todd Monken. Let's get Rob Gronkowski back. Let's get the whole gang back together again. And instead of what Todd Bowles talked about just a couple of weeks ago, rebuilding, we're going to reload. Because, again, that division is easy to win. I mean, it's not easy to win, but it's a winnable division, right? I mean, you got Carolina, who just hired Frank Reich from the Indianapolis Colts. You're not sure who the quarterback is going to be going forward.
And good luck. If
Tom Brady is not the quarterback, Tampa Bay, you better make room for Kyle
Justin
Trask
Fields.
Hold on. For your number one quarterback would be Kyle Trask.
Boom, I'll take it.
Or, you ready?
Oh.
Here's your tier 2
Oh, wait, time out. Here
Here's
it comes. Here it comes, Mitch Trubisky.
And Mitch Trubisky and who else?
He was one of them.
One Davis Mills.
I'll take Jameis Winston.
Hold on.
With
Davis
Todd
Mills.
Monken.
With Davis Mills. You can be getting Davis Mills or Mitch Trubisky. They're both going to be free agents. I'm telling you, man, this can actually happen. And you know what? I like Davis Mills in the Tampa Bay Buccaneer uniform.
They really definitely, Houston's right up there. And, you know, if you're going to make that splash, they talk about Brian Flores was interviewed for the job just after they fired Lovie Smith, defensive-minded coaches. I can't figure out if the Houston Texans really do consider wanting to draft a quarterback at top. Is it smoke so they can get a good, accomplished offensive coach? Because looking to bring another defensive-minded coach in there just seems like been there, done that. The Bucs with Lovie Smith and Jameis Winston in 2015, Pete.
I don't have any confidence that a young quarterback here can develop in Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. I've seen too much. I've experienced too much.
How about Davis Mills?
Wait, I was talking about Houston.
The guy led in interceptions. He was tied with Dak Prescott last year. I mean,
so what? But Dak Prescott, hold on, but it's not fair. First off, Davis Mills had one receiver. Dak Prescott has a plethora of receivers, even sitting on the bench. Are you kidding me? You can't compare those two.
But here's the crazy thing about it, though. If you don't get Tom Brady back, you have a $35 million cap hit. So
that's the part. But if Tom Brady retires, you get a $9 million cap relief, spread it out also over 2024 when the cap will continue going up, which it's going to go up this year. Why not? It should go every year.
It's like Greg Allman said of Fox Sports. There's different financial realities.
You read that though, Pete? Greg Allman's.
If he
still brings it, doesn't he, brother?
Always brings it. We're gonna have to get
always has brought it
up here.
Love it when he's on the sports.
The Raiders. If he goes to the Miami Dolphins, if he goes somewhere else, it's a $35 million cap hit, and then basically you're left scrambling on how to free up money and how to sign contracts and basically get rid of veterans. So
but again, $9 million if he retires. Cap relief.
Here's the reality of it.
I just love winding him up.
If Tom Brady, listen,
was this a championship game today?
It's the championship game. But
I'm going to
go full screen again, and I'm going to tell him just like I said on the sports.
Oh God, don't take it.
Tom Brady will not.
It goes out. It hates you.
It hates.
It hates you. It's every time you go.
Tom Brady will not be the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2023.
Okay.
The end.
Until you get that tattoo if they are. If he is.
I will get
at
the
One
tattoo.
Buck Place.
I promise you I will.
Pete, right? Did we timestamp that show or what, brother?
We did. Where does he go to? Does he retire or does he go to the Raiders?
He's going to the Raiders, Peter.
Okay.
He goes and fixes that family for a year, brother.
Or he's going to Miami.
No, listen, guys. Greg Olsen has the Super Bowl this year. Him and Burkhardt, they're going to knock it out of the ballpark. Greg Olsen's making a name for himself. Tom Brady needs to take a year.
He's made the name for himself. That
He
cat
is.
doing
I don't think Tom
phenomenal.
Brady can. I don't think Tom Brady is going to be. He's going to bring a different kind of analysis. He's always going to be locked down deep. But you got to, hat in hand. Next kid next door that Olsen brings, Greg Olsen. But I think Tom, as much as we talk about last year that Tom was taking that year or ready to do the family thing and not miss Jack's high school playoff games or whatever, playoffs. I truly believe now in 2023, rather than risk going again Super Bowl, divisional playoff, wild card, and then this year if he didn't even make it, I think it's more than ever. It's a time for Tom to really start adjusting to that next phase in life and spending some time with that family because he didn't look very comfortable in the pocket the entire year.
I'd like to get back to some of the comments really quick so we can get caught up. How about that, Ray? You ready?
Always.
Christian Shanafelt says, you guys think Sean Payton lands a head coaching job this offseason? Would you like to see him land in Arizona, but not sure it happens? Peter?
I'm not sure if he goes because, again, I read this comment before. There's a 70% chance he goes back to Fox because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, he has a cushy job with Fox Sports. He's happy in LA. What if he could wait a year for the Chargers to basically implode and take that job next year, or Sean McVay to once again get that itch to retire and go coach the Rams? He wants the perfect job, the perfect scenario. Arizona maybe is not in his perfect scenario column of trying to choose a job at the end of the day.
Good call. Yeah, good call. Now, let's go back again, please, to this AFC championship game, Chiefs and the Bengals. I know we already talked about it, but special teams, and it going to be a thing in cold air in Kansas City, or is it because you guys, the way you guys talk about it, it could be an under game.
I'm telling you, that's why I favor the Bengals in this game. If it's a cold weather game, they're able to run the ball.
Or is it 47.5? You said, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
He's like, yeah,
it's 48. Bet the over in the game, guys. Stop. Just bet the over.
All right,
bet the over.
Yeah.
If you guys don't want to play either side, I'm pretty damn confident this game goes over. This over should be 54.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm not kidding you. This game should be for 54. So if you don't want to play Kansas City, you don't want to take a chance and play Cincy because you're not sure if Joe Burrow is going to have that kind of a game. You're not sure that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win 4 in a row. You're not sure if the high ankle sprains are really going to affect them. Bet the over. It's just as simple as that because they're going to score points.
They have last
Who
year's
honestly
tape
on this panel or out there thinks that neither one of these two teams will score at least 24 points?
I have my major doubts about Mahomes and his health. I have major doubts about that.
And here's the thing:
you just hate Mahomes. I understand.
No,
that
it's not hatred. It is.
I've labeled them as the Billy Goat.
It is reality. It is the reality of the situation. And going back to Tampa Bay, where the Bucs dominated that Kansas City team. We knew that the offensive line was hurt, but what a lot of people didn't know is that Mahomes was dealing with the foot injury. How good did he do in that game? He was running for his life, 497 yards in the line of back of the line of scrimmage. He didn't have a great game at the end of the day. And I saw his mobility last week versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. That is a high ankle sprain. He has to have that mobility. He wants to move the pocket. He wants to move left to right. He wants to make things happen. When he's not able to do that, he is a totally different quarterback. Furthermore, that offense is totally different. Also, Kelsey's hurt in this game. He's at back spasms.
And again, I alluded earlier to
the water boy has back spasms too. You guys got to stop with this nonsense. Kansas City's at home. You're never going to get this opportunity for a 1.5. That's it. And for the people that were smart out there that actually took the 1.5 to 2 points when Kansas City was the underdog, that was the smartest thing you can do.
Well,
honestly, listen, the good story is Cincinnati to win. I understand that Kansas City is like the evil empire. They're starting to become what Tom Brady was when they were in New England. The evil empire. Someone's got to knock them off their perch. You can try, but it ain't happening.
Well, I've got through this entire show without video. Don't even try, Harry. Leave it like this. Otherwise,
I think it says we got video now. Ready?
Yeah, but we've
Ready?
got people out there that have had seizures now.
I know, really.
It's not your fault. It's Scamlink.
I'm really sorry about that.
But again, hey guys, I talked about this with you guys on
My
Thursday
wife buys
night.
me the cheapest product there is.
That's the best there is. Peter Blake.
And there you go. That's what you get right there.
But
You talking
hey,
about your wife. That's what happened right
see,
there.
it's a hate on you today, brother. But hey, the line again moves from KC over to Cincinnati, back to KC, and we're loving it. We're looking forward to a great AFC
It's going to
championship.
be a lot
game.
of fun. This is what these shows are all about.
But my point is, with FanDuel, MGM, Caesars, every other book out there, are we going to find out on Monday? We're going to get that, pop on Apple News and say, hey, by the way, this was the most gambled on, bet on game in the history of the National Football
Do you
League.
know how many millions of dollars it takes to move a line a point, let alone
That thing swung 5 points over 3 days.
It's a 4.5
Yes.
swing in 3 days.
That's a lot of people digging into their piggy bank.
Man. Christian Shanafelt says Warren Sapp's sources are taking over Harry's setup. Unfortunately, Christian,
where are the cannons, Pete?
Actually, Warren can't afford my equipment anymore. He doesn't have a job. Christopher Cole says I wouldn't draft any Alabama quarterback.
Flawless victory.
Understandable. Christian also says got to stay off those websites, Harry. I've lost a couple of computers in the past by spending too much money on them. Are you sure it's me or maybe my wife? Troy Polamalu says it's sad football season's coming to an end. The good Lord knows I love watching the Bucks. Oh boy. Troy says
This guy sucks.
And he says, good Lord, forget it. Christian says
that suck right there.
It sounds like you're in a CAD. You mean
Boom shakalaka.
Christian
Half
says
of the show is done in a can.
the week of Super Bowl is one of my favorite times of the year when it comes to radio podcast guests galore. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Christian
I'm your
also-
guest, technically.
That's true. What does Tampa do at quarterback if Brady doesn't return? Carr, draft, free agency?
Skip.
They ain't going to draft anybody. They have one. And let me go ahead and answer this because I know these two guys can go on for an hour talking about this.
Yeah.
Look for one Davis Mills coming to Tampa and be happy.
If we get him on his first year, his rookie contract, he still has 4 years to go, and it's a decent trade because at the end of the day, if Brady does hang him up, which we hope he does, because we get that $9 million relief, the Buccaneers still have a cap issue to work out in 2023 and 4. And rather than kick the can further up the road by bringing in Aaron Rodgers, because we're guaranteed, let's time to not. I always going to
Does that sound like the Glazers to you guys? Hold on a sec. Does that sound like the Glazers to you?
No, but I think Jason Light's a smart enough general manager.
Hold on.
You're right. They're always balls to the wall.
Hold on.
Pete.
Let's go ahead and dissect this a little bit. This doesn't
Okay.
sound like the Glazers, and this doesn't sound like Jason Light. Because let me get this straight. Todd Bowles finally gets an opportunity to coach a team. He gets his own staff, and we're going to all of a sudden go through a rebuild. Jason Light's job is out on the line because they only won 8 games this year, but we're going to go through a rebuild. Come on, guys. They're going to try their best to do everything they can to keep Tom Brady or bring another veteran quarterback in here, not named Davis Mills. Come on.
Well, you know what? Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with Davis Mills, okay? You guys are sleeping on a quarterback that could potentially be a Pro Bowl quarterback with this offense.
He was the most pro-ready coming out of Stanford in 2020.
Quarterback that had the most interceptions in the NFL besides Dak Prescott.
That's also a
It's
thing.
the only team in the National Football League, Peter. I'll go tit for tat with you on this. That had a worse offensive line than the Bucks.
And
Laramie Tunsil, is he still?
Let me
He
get
couldn't block you on that left side.
Is
He
that
played with an
offensive
injured
line?
knee.
Okay, so is that offensive line going to improve with a $35 million cap hit?
Of course it is, because they're going to get healthy again.
No, they're not.
And hold on. And let me tell you what they're going to get with the Davis Mills versus a Tom Brady.
can't
They're going to
believe
get someone that can actually move left or right.
I would
That's
rather
what-
go with the Kyle Trask at this point. If
I go either way depending on the day of the week.
I don't care about you at all.
This guy sucks. That's great enough to suck right there.
Terrible comment by Tampa Bay.
Wait a minute, that was kind of rough or blue for a Sunday morning.
Troy Polamalu says, Harry, what time should I be at your house for the Super Bowl party? I don't know, Troy.
Never.
Send me a direct message, and I
That's great
promise
enough
you,
to suck right there.
Hey, let him
I
in.
will give you the RSVP.
Tell him we'll enter office his invitation. Pete will bring it in for him Monday to work.
How about you try? He doesn't work with you, by the way. He's an idiot.
He doesn't work.
If you call the show sometime and interact instead of being a troll bag, maybe we'll give you a Super Bowl invitation. Who knows?
Christian Shanafel says, Ray off the top rope. My God.
I love
Laughing
it.
my ass off.
That was a
That
good
was
draw.
for his grinder page.
Christian, thank you. The best part of the show for me is when someone acknowledgement and brings it back around. Thank you, brother.
Acknowledge me.
Oh, me.
Christian says the ship has sailed on Trubisky.
Yeah, it was Pittsburgh was the end of the line. He'll be
Noodle
a
Arm
quarterback.
Brady
backup.
belongs in the XFL. I wouldn't
Right.
say that.
Right.
Christian says, I don't know. Warren Sapp has it that Brady is going to the Carolina, fellas.
No, he doesn't. That's
Okay.
lies.
to be with Frank Reich.
Yeah, that's not
You know what?
happening at all.
Well, no, he's a guy, but
Where
Frank
there's
Reich.
smoke, there's fire.
Frank Reich is going to bring Matt Ryan
Oh,
in
you
back
guys
in.
are smoking. Okay, stop.
Sounds like you're smoking.
Christopher Cole says Brady would go undefeated in the XFL, Troy. Oh, Chris, do me a favor. Don't engage. Not with him. Please don't. It's going to make...
baby.
Listen, you'll start saying words that aren't very appropriate. He's going to get under your skin. Don't let him do it.
Who, Peter?
No. Because Chris is now starting to get aggravated with Troy because he says Brady would go undefeated in the XFL. Troy.
Because Troy says all kinds of stupid stuff. That's all.
I understand that. If you can get Christopher Cole to swear,
Well,
you're Satan. Because he's like the most nicest guy you'll ever meet in the world.
but did he swear?
No, but he's getting there.
Oh, he's getting ready to drop one. I can see it
I
already.
can see it. Christopher Cole's getting ready to drop a little deuce.
Let's keep going. Let's see what
Getting ready to
happens.
drop a deuce on Troy.
Let's see what happens. Play this thing out.
Peter, waiting for Gronkowski to come back.
Waiting
He's
for
like a
Guffman.
man,
Waiting for
a
Guffman.
cheating wife to come back.
Well, a cheating wife usually does come back there, jack off.
Stetson
Was that a
Bennett
George Jones song?
in Dallas for public intoxication.
there you go.
last
I mean,
night or early
wait,
this morning.
Wait, you skipped that
that a-
line. Did he
is
say
that a true-
cheating women always come back?
Yes.
Pete,
Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, we're going to act like toxic relationships are not a thing these days in 2023. I
hey,
mean,
cheating man takes his
Hold on.
ass home with his tail
Three
between his
white
legs too,
guys
brother.
sites out there, websites and dating websites. Come on, Troy. Bring something else.
You're my cheating heart.
Oh,
Well,
God. Troy says possible quarterbacks for the Bucs next season. Brandon Hoyer, Brandon Weed, Matt Schaub, Mike Glennon, Brock.
That's good enough to
That was a drop.
Wait
What?
a
That was
minute. Wait a
rough.
minute, Troy. Now, that was a good comment. What about one? We really want him back.
Don't say it.
Oh, it's got to
Not
be
fair.
1, 2, 3.
Don't
Josh
say
Rosen,
it.
Josh Rosen, Josh Rosen.
Well, they're going to say Mike Glennon, but this
That's
But I'll take
good enough
James
to
Swift.
suck right
Mike
there.
Glennon. Yeah,
I
Mike
I
Glennon.
curse you, Tampa Bay fans. You can have Mike Glennon back after what he
Oh,
did
no,
for us
you
in
paid him.
Chicago.
You bought him. You bought him. He's yours.
Napoleon Dynamite
There's
is
no.
what I call
We
him.
have a no refund
Yeah,
policy
you
here in
have that.
Tampa Bay.
Christian says, could Stetson Bennett be the veteran quarterbacks the Bucs could be looking to replace?
I
Brady?
mean, a
with
lot
with
of
Art Monken as his OC.
right.
Tony Williams out of Chicago says, what's all this talk about trading Justin Fields? Polls better not. Hold on to your pants. Hold on to your pants, Tony.
Do we want to?
Those are the
Smoke.
rumors.
Right.
And the smoke from one sort Warren Sapp said.
Yeah, that's
He's trying
that's
to
the
become-
source of that smoke.
And that's the source
Yeah.
of the smoke is Warren Sapp who said that.
That's like hearing that my best friend's girlfriend's sister wants to meet behind a kiss.
Ray.
It's still exciting, but it's
That's
That
smoke.
also
brothers,
happens.
sisters,
It's called a
mothers,
toxic
grandfathers,
relationship.
nieces, nephew.
It happens in
Yeah, I know
Kentucky
her.
all the time.
Best friend's
Sorry.
mother said,
that she's
and
dating
gave-
Zach Wilson.
that's it, dating Zach Wilson.
Okay,
You guys are hilarious.
right,
we would be
That's-
better as a pod. I think we would
That's
be
it.
better as a pure pod. And Peter is still looking good. Okay, Pete, go ahead.
Thank you. Stetson Bennett. Is that a true report? Is that Christian making up something? Can we
Christian
check
never
that?
makes anything up.
Wait,
so you-
Stetson Bennett to be a backup quarterback in
No,
Tampa?
Well, arrested in Dallas
He's
for public
arrested in
intoxication.
Oh, I did not see this. Wait, who's saying this? I'll check it out.
Christian
Check
said
that out.
That sucks.
All right,
Check
so
that
we
out.
have some prop bets for today's game. The 49ers over or under for the first half. You ready, guys? Is 11 points. You like it over or under? I have no opinion. I'm going to say under, and I'm going to tell
Under.
you why I like under, because I don't think they're going to be able to score that many
Wait,
points.
the under 4.5 for the Niners in the first half?
No, you didn't hear what I said,
I
right?
didn't. I was looking up
No,
Stetson
the
Bennett.
total team points for the Niners in the first half is 11.
Oh, so yeah, that would
I
be.
like under.
I like under
Ooh.
too, maybe.
I like under. You got to lay a little juice. You got to lay 150.
I like it. I like it.
Or in Ray's words, the vig.
I got that.
Philadelphia's over under is 12.5. Get this. There's no juice if you bet under, but there's 120 if you bet over. I don't have an opinion on that one. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game to start the game first half, and I think Philadelphia walks away with it the second half.
You could see both teams trying to fill each other out there. Don't make a joke about that, but that usually happens with
I was thinking about the Stetson Bennett thing, but the field-out thing.
Ray, keep your hand to yourself. Is there an adult in the room?
That's like... But yeah, 8 ABC out of like whatever Wichita, what was it?
I don't even know what you just said.
That's great enough to suck right there.
Stetson Bennett was arrested on public intoxication charges in Dallas. But it's public intoxication. It means he's a baller. It means he's a ball guy.
But here's the problem with this, and put me full screen here for a minute, gentlemen.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
I'm playing with my StreamYard.
Oh, it's up.
Well,
we got light.
That's great. Okay, so the reason why this is a big deal is because NFL is looking at character. They're not just looking at a quarterback with his skills and what he did for the national championship Georgia Bulldogs, winning 2 in a row, but also character issues. So could this drop his stock? Absolutely. Will he be interviewed during the NFL Combine? Absolutely. And this is just a bad look at the end of the day. Look, I get it. You won a national championship. You're going into the draft, but you can't put yourself in these situations to cost yourself money. And today, Mr. Bennett may have costed him a lot of money with this decision that he made last night. Stupid decision.
Depends on what it was. Did he grope somebody, or was he just taking a piss on the side of a
Why
building?
He was taking a piss.
Why
well, hold on.
The chance?
Public intoxication.
I mean, come on, Pete. Have you ever urinated outside?
Peter, when were you went through
with a name like
puberty?
Peter? You never urinated outside.
I'm not
with
going
a name like Harry. Peter.
Here's the point, guys. I'm not
leaned over to Ray's yard and took a piss.
I saw that. That was a little bit.
I am not doing that. I am not taking the chance to put myself out there, to put a target on my back when I have an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars. And there was already question marks about Bennett and his size and arm strength and everything else out there. And now you just have another question. This is a bad look. It doesn't matter. It's a bad optic. You can't put yourself in the situation to have a target on your back. And now he's going to have a target.
Well, that's always the truth.
Wait a minute. We actually have a caller coming in, but I don't know if he really wants to take this.
All right, take it.
Welcome to the Over-Under. And I know this guy does not realize he's calling a live show. You're live on the Over-Under with Peter Blake and Tampa Bay Ray. Dean, how are you down there at the Deck Bar and Grill?
Good. I'm not there, but...
Best buy.
Wait a minute. Are you still up in Wisconsin?
No, I just got back the other day.
Oh, you did? What's on your mind, brother? How's everything going?
Good. I was calling you for something else, not for a live show.
No, I totally get it. But since you're actually calling in, by the way,
product
is
in town for
this
pickup.
Is Dean. He's the owner
of
the Deck Bar and Grill down in Isla del Sol. He's down there with Cedric. They have great drinks. They have unbelievable food. I'll tell you what, for bar food, I give it 3 to 5 stars. I mean, their shrimp there is just unbelievable. Their wings, their burgers, everything.
Unbelievable.
Who do you like in today's games, Dean?
San Francisco and the Chiefs.
Okay, well, he's 50%, right?
I'm with you, Dean. Hey, Dean, it's Ray. By the way, I got to tell you, brother, I haven't talked to you in a minute. Peter and I, and Harry, of course, but Peter and I, first day we met there at the Deck Bar and Grill down there at Isla del Sol, at the most beautiful southern little tip there across the water in downtown St. Pete. And what a great establishment you guys have. It was COVID 2020. We needed to have a place. I'd never been, and for Bury the Lead, even long after COVID was solved, we still love being there. But man, so open, so out there. The food, here's the thing about the Deck. People don't realize that they take the food seriously. They do some culinary things that, and then also Bury the Lead. I always said, Peter, I said it was a $3 million view every sunset from on the deck down there at the Deck Bar and Grill, didn't I, bro?
It was $1 million view. What's your best memories about the Deck, Peter?
Oh, here we go.
I mean, being there for Super Bowl 55, right? I mean, the atmosphere was unbelievable.
Never forget
we had
that.
a chance to, do Bucks games down there during the playoffs, and everybody was just hyped up. The food was great. The people were great. And I remember being down there until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and not getting
times.
They remembered it too. They hated it. Can you get this guy out of my bar? We want to go home.
Yeah. You guys, when you leave, are you taking him with you? Don't worry, Dean. We'll take him. So, Dean, how are you, brother?
I'm doing very well.
Great. Dean, I have a couple of questions for you regarding the game that you really like in San Francisco at Philly. What is making you pick Frisco? I mean, don't you think?
Dreamer.
I mean, honestly,
He's
Brock Purdy, it's a great story, Mr. Irrelevant, but he has not faced a defense like he's going to face over here in Philadelphia. I mean, give me your insight on that.
I just liked them. I thought they were the hottest team going into the playoffs.
They are. They
And
are one of the hottest teams.
Dean,
and I thought Jalen Hurts was hurt, so I don't know how he's 100% or not.
Dean, what kind of a game does Christian McCaffrey have to have today in Philadelphia at the Lincoln Financial for the Niners to take the pressure off of Purdy and let the number one defense in the NFL feed and come up with a tall task in beating those Philadelphia Eagles at home today?
I think he'll have one of his best games. The guy's amazing. I think he'll have close to 200 total yards.
Wow, that's extraordinary. You know what, Dean? I know you already told my guys, but if we come out, all the drinks and food's on you. Isn't that right, Dean?
I didn't kiss his butt for nothing.
Absolutely not.
Same old Dean.
Dean, I'll give you a call a little bit later. Thank you so much for calling the over-under. It's always a pleasure having someone like you call in.
All right, thank you.
You
Take
take care.
Dean, there you go. Good stuff.
Genuine, one of the genuine good guys, brother. We definitely did us right. Oh, right. Let me get the cam link out of the freezer.
Yeah, we had to put the cam link in the freezer. It'll work for like 5 minutes now.
Oh, wow. That's good.
No, but seriously. So now that we talked about the over-under on total points, the Bengals are 11.5. How about the Chiefs at 12? I got to tell you, man, I like the Chiefs to score at least 21 points in this. I think that's like my favorite pick in the first half.
Wow.
I think if the Chiefs use Pacheco and they get an offensive running game that'll stop the Bengals from closing those passing lanes that they did so successfully last year in the championship game and then again this year, then yeah, I think that can the Chiefs, let's be honest, anytime you start to count the Chiefs off, they just march. They just march, Pete.
The freezer didn't work right.
They can march all day long, but the guy can barely run. The guy can barely step back and plant on his foot. I'm telling you, it's a lot worse injury than a lot of people are saying, and it's going to affect this game today. It will affect this game. It will. It will affect that offense. You'll see. And then also, I don't know what that shot is.
That was my upskirt
it's
shot.
The Leo
like
Haggerty
that?
shot. Hi.
You know, you every time you make that joke, Harry.
Hi, Forrest. How are you?
Forrest, run!
Back to the comments.
Let's go to that camera shot. Let's close this show.
City, by the way,
know what?
Kansas City Harry was at home last
We're
week.
going to stay with this camera shot, ladies
Pete,
and gentlemen.
we're gonna
Pete,
stay
what
with
do
you,
think
bro.
with this, man? You like this?
Are we
Pete?
in a can, though?
Are we in a
No, it
can?
sounds good. No,
Okay,
we
last
just-
time we were in a can. So, Peter, let's just close this thing up.
No,
What
we
were we
can't
at there,
close
Harry?
this out, man. We got to talk a little bit more. We got to read some comments.
We got to pay some bills.
We got to pay some of them bills. Let's always talk about trading Justin Fields. Polls better not. They're not doing it. Jeff Stassi says Ray should do 3 shots for every time his hammer screws up. Are you kidding me?
I love Jeff Stassi.
I mean, Jeff, he's the best at IT though.
He's the best at what?
IT.
Then why are we having this problem?
Because he's in Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. He's in Chicago. Christian says, know their station. WFAA in Dallas reporting that Stetson Bennett.
That was the ABC, I think, that I saw on
Tony
Google.
Williams says, what do you fellas think Poles is going to do with the number 1 pick? If you were watching from the beginning of the show,
He's going to play
you
with
would
it for
know
the next
that.
4 months.
Listen,
I would.
man, this is what they're doing. They're
That's
trading the
going
number
to
2.
suck right there.
They're trading the number 2. They're going to get a plethora of picks. They're going to go from number 2
Leo
to
word.
number 4. They're going to get DeForest Buckner and some more picks.
You're doing it too. You keep forgetting we're looking at this
Oh, and
camera.
I'm looking at that camera.
Well, it's a
over there.
studio camera.
That's what it is. Troy Polamalu says this will affect Stetson Bennett's future as the manager at Denny's. That's really good.
You know what though? Hey, Johnny Manziel's his lead cook. So
Oh,
I just lumped Stetson Bennett in with Johnny Manziel. Oh,
Troy,
except Stetson Bennett didn't have Mike
Troy,
Evans.
are you taking pictures from my back window? Behind the blind camera, Harry and Ray are holding hands.
I told you my backyard looks good.
Hey,
This is
my
getting so
milkshake
bad.
brings all the boys
to the yard, and they're like, I'm
That's
better.
enough. No more.
This guy sucks.
We are doing something
does
pretty
suck.
well. Hey, everybody, for Peter Blake.
Wait, that's it? I'm having fun.
I'm
I got a
I'm
day
having
to
fun,
deal
too.
with.
For Peter Blake, for Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, for Harry the Greek. As I always say, I got to look in the correct camera. I got to look in that
I
little
know.
hole, not the big hole. That little hole is pretty tight.
Low key, it's a lot harder to look at that when there's, like I said, a studio camera right there.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I tell you what I am doing. You want to come catch a couple of horse races? Go out to the Tampa Bay Downs in Oldsmar today. Harry the Greek will be up in the Legend Sports Bar with the Legends.
Then, you're going with Sam? We're going with Alex?
No, I'm just going to go hang up on myself. I'm going to go say hello to the wife, maybe get myself a little salad, watch a couple of ponies.
Peter takes me back
Then
to.
from there, I am coming home
to watch the championship.
And I'm going to be
games.
watching some championship games. For SportsWeb's very own Peter Blake, Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, I'm your host, Harry the Greek, on the Over-Under on the Sports Web, live on 1252 Sports. And as I always say, Ray, what do I always say?
I just like I don't want the show to end yet. You got 5 more minutes, Pete. Let's talk for 5 more minutes. I got such a day. I got to go to the hospital.
Keep your bets low and your returns
Wait, we are
high.
ending it? Why? We got the good shot and everything.
We got the good shot.
What, does Peter have to go work?
Can I kiss you on the cheek?
He does have to work.
Y'all have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go for the National Football League. Go Chicago Bears. Make sure you trade back down. Keep your bets low and your returns high.
Eagles,
don't
Bengals.
Don't forget to tune in Mondays and Wednesdays of next week on the Sports Web with Peter Blake. Thank you for tuning
Eagles,
in, everybody.
Bengals. Eagles, Bengals.
Have a
Bengals
great
win it
evening.
all.
Will you shut up?